What's up, nerds? I'm McKinley, and today I am bringing you my most anticipated queer reads for January to June. There are far too many for me to do a full year. Plus, they haven't announced everything yet. So, I just figured I'd do the first half of the year for now, and then in June, I will do the rest of the year. And guys, I actually took notes and I actually know what these books are about and when they come out. Look at me go. I know, I'm impressed too. First, I'll start with one that comes out January 23rd. That's this Tuesday. And I actually already have it, and that's Let's Talk About Love by Claire Can. I don't know how to say it. I am reading it right now. So this book is it's an Ohm Voices book about a biromantic asexual girl who her girlfriend breaks up with her when she finds out, well, not when she finds out she's ace. She breaks up with her because she won't have sex with her. And she meets a boy, and it's supposed to be really cute and rom-com-y, and I'm really excited. I think I've read 2 chapters so far, and I already really like it. And also, your ace, you'll probably want to buy this because look, there's a little ace card. It's so cute. So this is one of my favorite covers of the year too. I just absolutely love it. Also on the 23rd, Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh comes out, and this is a fantasy about a necromancer. She's bisexual, and there's people making zombies on purpose, and it's like she doesn't do her necromancing, then the people turn into zombies, and apparently like everyone in it is bisexual, and the main character's a woman of color. On the 30th, I have Dangerous Art of Blending In by Angelo Sermelis. And this is about a guy with an abusive mother, and he uses art as his way of coping with the abuse he's dealing at home. He has a very meek father that won't stand up to his mother, and he's also in love with his best friend. And from what I've read, it's very sad. So we shall see if it's the kill the queers trope. Hopefully it doesn't. Moving on to February, on February 6th, The Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza by Sean David Hutchinson comes out. I've already read this, but I wanted to mention it because it's really good and everyone should get it. Also, I will preempt this with you should read We Are the Ants and At the Edge of the Universe before you read this, because I feel like, and I've said this so many times, I feel like it's like a hidden trilogy, but the main characters from those 2 books appear in this, and you will not recognize them if you don't read those first. In that book, there's a bi main character. Obviously she's Hispanic, and she can heal people, and it's like basically her job to save the world by healing these people. And there's a female romance. Also on February 6th, we have Last to Let Go by Amber Smith. I read her first book, which I can't remember the name of right now, and I really liked it. So I'm really excited for this one, but it's about a girl whose mother kills her abusive father, and she goes to jail, and she's basically left with her siblings to take care of them, and they're on their own, and there's a female romance. Yes. Moving on to February 15th, I have Snow Sisters by Tom Walensky and Jen Sternick. I actually have an e-arc of this, and I'm reading it right now, and stay tuned for my wrap-up because I'm not sure I'm going to recommend it. But it's about these 2 girls, one's from the big city, New York, and one's from a small town in New Hampshire, and she works on a dairy farm, or lives on a dairy farm, and works on it. And they end up being roommates at this writing program, and right now there's some major transphobia, and the one character is not calling her out on it, and it's driving me nuts. So we shall see where this goes. On February 27th, we have All Out by several authors, but it's edited by Sandra Mitchell, and it's all queer short stories. And some of the authors that I'm excited for are Sean David Hutchinson, Tess Sharp, Mackenzie Lee, and Sarah Farazan. Moving on, also on February 27th is a book, People Like Us by Dana Mealy? I don't know how to say it, obviously. This is basically, from what I read, is a Mean Girls at a private school, but like almost all the main characters are queer, and it's a scavenger hunt to help solve a murder, and the main character who's trying to solve it like is searching all the clues. It's on a computer, and even she starts to be a suspect, and yeah. And one of the authors whose reviews I read, Rachel Lynn Solomon's her name, she said there's more queer characters than non-queer, so Sign me up. Yes, thank you. Moving on to March. On March 6th, I have a middle grade, Ivy Eberdine's Letter to the World by Ashley Herring Blake. Y'all know I love Ashley Herring Blake. I actually requested an arc for this, but they have not emailed me back, so I guess I'm just gonna have to wait. But it's about a girl who a tornado destroys her house and her family ends up being displaced, but also she loses her art notebook where she draws pictures of girls holding hands, and she really wants to find it, and then eventually the art starts to reappear in her locker with notes attached encouraging her to embrace her identity. And I'm thinking there's going to be a cute, adorable middle grade first love, and I'm ready for it. Plus the cover is beautiful and I just love Ashley Herring Blake's writing. Also on the 6th, we have P.S. I Miss You by Jen Petro Roy. This is also a middle grade. This is about a girl whose sister gets pregnant and is sent away by her extremely Catholic parents, and she is forbidden to talk to her. And so she misses her a lot, so she just starts writing her letters, and she starts to realize that she has feelings for another girl. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist. Also on the 6th is The Unbinding of Mary Read by Miriam McNamara. It's bisexual pirates. I know. I'm excited too. It's about a girl who's pretending to be a boy on a ship, a merchant ship, and they end up getting attacked by a pirate ship, and she sees women on the pirate ship, and she is so excited that women can do this, so she immediately turns on the merchant ship and helps the pirates and joins the pirates. And this is what I wrote. Gay pirates, guys. Gay pirates. So I already pre-ordered this one. I kept seeing it. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna pre-order. I need to have this book. Moving in to April. Wow, March is a dull month for queer books. Anyway, moving on to April. On April 3rd, we have Summer Jordi Perez or Something About a Burger by Amy Spalding. I actually have an e-arc of this. I cannot wait to read it. It's about a fat girl who has a plus-size blog. Yeah, she's a lesbian fashion blogger. And she gets an internship with her favorite boutique, and she falls in love with her fellow intern, and it's fat, it's queer. Do I need to say anything else? Obviously. I mean, they are searching for the best burger in LA or whatever, which does not appeal to my vegan side, but it's fat, it's queer. I'm reading it. I'm so excited I got an e-arc of it. Moving on to April 24th is my most anticipated read of the entire year, and that is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli, who is one of my all-time favorite authors. Even though she's only written 2 books, she's still one of my all-time favorite authors. And let's just take a second to appreciate the fat bisexual girl on the cover of this book. Yes. Please and thank you, sign me up. Leah was the character I most identified with in Simon, and she's only out to her mother, and it's her senior year with Simon and the gang, but their friendship circle is starting to have its issues, and yeah. I mean, it's Becky, I'm reading it. Moving on to May. On May 1st, I have Ship It by Bretta London. I actually have an e-arc of this. I'm reading it during Contemporary-thon, but this is about a girl who writes fan fiction about a show. I'm thinking a supernatural type show. And she goes to a convention and she asks one of the main characters if there's any chance of his character being gay. And the actor responds in a really negative way. And there's a shitstorm that happens because of that. So she ends up being invited to go on the con circuit with them. And she ends up falling in love, or at least with a fan artist that's also on the con circuit. And this just sounds like a Destiel shipper's dream book. So I can't wait to read it. You'll see it in the TBR very, very soon. Moving on to May 15th, I have Out of the Blue by Sophie Cameron. Again, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cover. I love it so much. But this is about a world where angels are falling out of the sky, and her dad ends up uprooting her whole family because he wants to catch one. I think the mother has passed, and one eventually lands at the main character's feet, and I think she's gonna fall in love with the angel, which again, let's bring it back to Destiel. Please and thank you, but it's female. Yes. Also on May 15th, we have Nothing Happened by Molly Booth. This is a queer retelling of Much Ado About Nothing, and it takes place at a camp. It's two sisters that go to the camp. One of them is queer, and she falls in love. I think they both fall in love, but we don't really care about the other one. But then, of course, there's a troublemaker at the camp starting rumors and trying to make everyone miserable. And I wrote drama, drama, drama. Also on May 15th is Love and Other Carnivorous Plants by Florence something. Apparently I didn't write down her last name, but it should be right here. This is about a girl who's failing out of Harvard, and she meets a girl in eating disorder rehab. That's all I wrote, but Cece talked about it on her most anticipated queer releases, and it sounded good, so I want to pick it up, probably from the library. Hello, Editing McKinley here. I forgot to mention, on May 15th, Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake comes out. I have already read this and reviewed it and everything, but I did want to make sure I had it in here. But this is about a girl whose twin brother is accused of raping one of her best friends, and there's a female-female relationship in it, and it is absolutely amazing. And I will link the wrap-up I spoke about it in on the screen or down below. But yes, May 15th, pick this one up. It's so good. And now moving on to May 22nd, I have The Brightsiders by Jen Wilde. I literally want to read this because it's Jen Wilde, and she wrote Queens of Geek, which I loved last year. But it's about a bi-teen drummer dealing with family issues and paparazzi after branded Hollywood's latest train wreck. Jen Wilde seems to be very fascinated by like Hollywood celebrity, because Queens of Geek was about a famous YouTuber. Also on May 22nd is Anger is a Gift by Mark Oshiro. And this book is about a boy whose father was murdered by a police officer, and since then he has crippling panic attacks, and as his school starts cracking down on stricter policies, the students start to rebel and fight back against the establishment, and he's trying to basically embrace his anger issues, I guess. So, but it sounds pretty good. Now we're finally on June. The first one I have is on June 12th. It's Sometime After Midnight by Elle Phillips. This guy wrote a book last year about, I don't remember what it was called, but it had like a guy in a unicorn mask on the cover. Do you guys remember that one? And this is basically a rom-com, and it's described as Alex from Target meets queer Prince Charming. So it's another celebrity story. That's all I wrote, because, I mean, if that doesn't sell you, it's probably not your type of book, you know what I'm saying? Finally, this is my last one. On May 26th, Drumroll Please by Lisa Jen Bigelow. This is another middle grade, and this girl meets or joins the band for her school, for her to be with her, to hang out with her best friend, and she ends up really loving drumming, and they go to band camp, and she starts to fall for another girl. I obviously love middle grade stories, in case you couldn't tell, but yeah, those are all my queer anticipated releases from January until June. If there's any that you're excited for that I did not mention, please leave them down below. I did a lot of research, but I could have missed one, so you never know. So definitely leave it down below if you're excited for it and I didn't mention it. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.